Carlos was 34 years old, logistics coordinator, San Antonio, Texas. He and his wife Maria brought home a combined $90,000 a year, 2 kids, a 2014 Honda CR-V with 140,000 miles, and a dream he had been putting off for 3 years, a truck. Not a luxury truck, not a Raptor, the responsible truck, the base model Ford F-150 XLT, the one the salesman called the smart choice, MSRP $48,500. Carlos walked into the dealership on a Saturday. The salesman asked him one question: what kind of monthly payment are you comfortable with? Not what truck can you afford, not what is your total budget, what monthly payment are you comfortable with? Carlos said $750. The salesman smiled, ran some numbers, came back with a term of 84 months, 0 down, 7.04% interest, monthly payment $754. Carlos signed. He drove home in the truck that afternoon. The bed was empty. It would be empty most days for the next 7 years. And what happened to Carlos's finances over the following 12 months is something the dealership never showed him before he signed. In this video, we are going to run the actual math the auto industry does not want you to see and answer the one question that should come before any truck purchase in 2026. Who can actually afford this? Stay until Chapter 5 because the opportunity cost number in that chapter will change how you look at every vehicle you ever consider buying again. Chapter 2: The truck market nobody is talking about. Before we get into Carlos's numbers, you need to understand exactly where the truck market stands in May 2026, because what dealerships are selling and what Americans can actually afford have never been further apart. The average new car transaction price has now crossed $50,000, and for full-size pickup specifically, the average transaction price is approximately $66,000. $66,000. That is the average. That is what the typical buyer is actually driving off the lot. So when we talk about a $50,000 truck, we are not talking about the loaded one with the panoramic sunroof and the heated steering wheel. We are talking about the base model, the responsible choice, the truck the salesman calls the smart move, and it costs $50,000. The average auto loan interest rate as of May 20, 2026 sits at 7.04% for a 60-month new car loan, according to Bankrate's weekly survey. And here's the number that should stop every American considering a truck purchase cold. Nearly 30% of new truck loans are now stretched to 73 to 84 months, 6 to 7 years, on a vehicle that loses approximately 20% of its value the moment you drive it off the lot. The median household income in America, $84,000. A $50,000 truck represents 60% of the average American household's entire pre-tax annual income. 60% on one vehicle. That is the market Carlos walked into on that Saturday morning. Chapter 3: The math the dealership never showed Carlos. Let's run Carlos's actual numbers. $50,000 truck, 0 down, 7.04% interest, the current national average per Bankrate May 20, 2026, 84-month term, monthly payment $754. That sounds manageable, under $800. Carlos could do that. Here's what the dealership never put on the table. Over 84 months, Carlos pays a total of $63,336 for a $50,000 truck, $13,336 in interest. He paid the equivalent of a used Honda Civic to the bank in exchange for spreading the payments over 7 years. By month 12, his truck is worth approximately $40,000. His loan balance, approximately $45,700. He's $5,700 underwater after just 1 year. But here's the part that turned Carlos's Tuesday into something he did not expect. The loan payment is just the beginning. True monthly cost of the truck, Loan payment, $754. Insurance, gas, maintenance, and registration average approximately $376 per month, according to LendingTree 2026 research. Truck-specific insurance premium, $185 per month. Fuel, full-size pickup at 18 mpg, 15,000 miles annually at current prices, $219 per month. Maintenance and registration, $90 per month. Total true monthly cost, $1,248. Now let's look at what Carlos actually takes home every month. Combined income, $90,000. After taxes, approximately $5,600 a month. Rent, $1,850. Childcare, $1,200. Groceries, $800. Utilities, $350. Truck, all in, $1,248. Total, $5,448. That leaves Carlos and Maria $152 a month for everything else. Clothes for the kids, dentist appointments, date night, emergency fund, retirement. $152. And the CRV, Maria's car, has a check engine light that comes on whenever it rains. Chapter 4. Who is actually buying these trucks? Here's the part of the truck market that should make every American stop and think. There's an ongoing study from Strategic Vision that surveyed over 250,000 truck owners about how they actually use their vehicles. The findings are extraordinary. 75% of truck owners tow once a year or less. 70% go off-road once a year or less. 35% put something in the bed once a year or less. 87% frequently use the truck for shopping and errands. The average modern pickup truck in America in 2026 is statistically a $66,000 grocery getter. It's a Costco vehicle, and it's marketed as the symbol of working-class American values, rugged, capable, hard-working, while the actual working-class Americans it's supposed to represent can no longer afford to buy it. According to the 24-10 rule, the standard financial guideline for vehicle purchases, you should put 20% down, finance for no more than 4 years, and keep total transportation costs under 10% of gross income. To buy a $50,000 truck under the 24-10 rule, 20% down, $10,000 cash up front. 4-year loan at 7.04%, approximately $950 per month. 10% of gross income, you need to earn at least $150,000 a year. $150,000. That's the top 15% of American earners. Carlos earns $90,000 combined with his wife. He needed $150,000 to responsibly afford the base model responsible truck. The salesman told him he was approved. Approved and able to afford are not the same calculation. Chapter 5. The number that changes everything. Here's the opportunity cost number I told you to stay for. Instead of the $50,000 truck, Carlos buys a $20,000 used Toyota Camry. Reliable, boring, paid off in 3 years. True monthly cost of the Camry. Loan, insurance, gas, maintenance, all in, approximately $680 per month, versus the truck's $1,248. Monthly difference, $568. What if Carlos took that $568 and invested it every month in a low-cost S&P 500 index fund instead of putting it toward the truck? The S&P 500 has delivered an average annual return of 10.42% over the last 100 years. $568 a month invested at 8% annually using a conservative return over 30 years grows to approximately $854,000. Not from a salary increase, not from a lucky investment, not from a side hustle. From one vehicle decision made on one Saturday morning in one San Antonio dealership. The truck did not cost Carlos $50,000. It cost him $854,000. That's the difference between retiring with options and retiring with bills. That's the number the dealership will never put on the sticker, because there is no commission paid when Carlos walks out and invests the index fund instead. Chapter 6. What Carlos should have done. Carlos's story doesn't end with the truck payment. 6 months after signing, the CR-V's transmission gave out. $3,200 repair. There was no emergency fund. Every dollar was committed to the $1,248 monthly truck cost. The repair went on a credit card at 24.99% interest. It took them 14 months to pay it off. Total cost with interest, $4,890. The truck that was supposed to make Carlos feel financially capable made the next financial problem cost $1,690 more than it should have. Here's the framework every American needs before walking into any dealership in 2026. Step 1. Calculate the true monthly cost, not just the payment. Insurance, gas, maintenance, registration, add every number. Step 2. Apply the 20-4-10 rule. 20% down, 4 years maximum, under 10% of gross income total. Step 3. Calculate the opportunity cost. Take the monthly difference between the vehicle you want and the vehicle you need. Invest that difference. See what it grows to over 20 years. Step 4. Ask one honest question. Am I buying this vehicle because I need it or because I was told I could afford it? Being approved is not the same as being able to afford it. The bank's risk tolerance and your ability to live a financially stable life are not the same calculation. Carlos is still making his truck payment, $754, 49 months remaining, $36,946 still owed. The truck bed has carried one bag of mulch, a Christmas tree, and a couch he sold on Facebook for $45. The couch didn't cover 1 month of his payment. The auto industry is not selling transportation anymore. It's selling identity, packaged as transportation, financed over 7 years at 7.04% interest, and every monthly payment-focused sales pitch is designed to stop you from running the math you just watched. Before you buy any vehicle in 2026, run the real numbers, not the monthly payment. The total numbers, the 7-year numbers, the opportunity cost numbers. If this video finally showed you the math the dealership will never put on the sticker, share it with someone about to sign a truck loan this weekend. Subscribe for more real American financial stories. Real numbers, verified 2026 data. Zero sugarcoating, because in America in 2026, the most expensive truck you will ever buy is the one where you only looked at the monthly payment.